and Alabama with Ray Perkins, two outstanding schools with solid traditions. The heart and soul of the Mustangs is Lance McElhaney, the winningest quarterback in Southwest Conference history. Lance is complemented by number 21, running back Reggie Dupard, who led the conference in rushing. The Tide is paced by Walter Lewis, who has set or tied 8 Bama records. With Lewis running the show, Alabama has averaged almost 31 points a game. SMU, Alabama. It's considered to be the best matchup in Sun Bowl history. A matchup on a special day, the golden anniversary game, the 50th annual Sun Bowl. SMU ranks 6th in the country, the highest rated team ever to play in the Sun Bowl, and the Crimson Tide of Alabama, their 25th straight bowl appearance, an NCAA record. And oh, how our weather has deteriorated from yesterday. It was 62 degrees yesterday, now at 24, and the wind 13 miles per hour. And here come the Mustangs of SMU. Bobby Collins says this is an opportunity to improve our national image, to earn more recognition. Their only loss to Texas. And now the Crimson Tide of Alabama. The Tide, they've lost their last 2, and they'd like to use this game as a way to close out the '83 season and usher in 1984 with a good taste in their mouth. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Bender, and my partner, Pat Hayden, and both of us like to wish you a very happy holiday season. Pat, as you analyze this game statistically, it looks as though it's Alabama's offense against SMU's defense, but it really isn't quite that simple.
Well, Gary, you mentioned the weather. When the weather's a factor like it is today, defenses tend to dominate. SMU has the advantage here. They're second ranked in the country. They have the All-American free safety, Russell Carter, and they can put pressure on the quarterback. And consider Alabama, too. They like to throw the football. Walter Lewis is their quarterback. Ray Perkins told us he'd like to throw the ball 30 times today. When you're a quarterback like Walter Lewis and you wake up on a day like this, Gary, and you see the wind bending the trees half over, you say, oh my goodness, I hope something lets up. But how well Walter Lewis handles the weather is going to be a big factor. Got to keep warm somehow. This is the second Sun Bowl appearance by SMU, the first for the Tide. They've had one other time. That was in 1976. Alabama won in Tuscaloosa. We'll get this game started in a moment.
Sports presents the 50th annual Sun Bowl, featuring the Southern Methodist University Mustangs versus the Alabama Crimson Tide. Today's game is sponsored by Chevrolet. America is on the move, and Chevrolet is supplying the wheels. Chevrolet and you taking charge. Owens Corning Fiberglass Corporation, makers of Owens Corning's pink fiberglass insulation. And by Merrill Lynch, a breed apart.
The Sun Bowl, El Paso, Texas. The golden anniversary game, the 50th game. The referees, a mixed crew from the Big 8 and the Big 10. John McClintock from the Big 8. They're assigned by the NCAA, and here is Bobby Collins in his second year as head coach of the Mustangs. And Ray Perkins, his maiden voyage, his rookie year at Alabama. Jeff Harrell will kick off. SMU won the toss. They elected to take the wind to their back. This is Joe Carter. To the 35. He's been averaging over 21 yards a return. Darrell Reese was the man that made the stop, and that was a 33-yard run. Let's look now at the backs and receivers for Alabama.
Quarterback Walter Lewis, he's accounted for over 2,300 total yards this season.
What a freshman sensation number 35 is, Kerry Good.
And Ricky Moore, the fullbacks, had 5 straight 100-yard days.
And Joey Jones, he's their fastest wideout, an All-Southeast Conference performer.
Another All-Southeast performance, Mike Adcock at guard.
The line of scrimmage will be the 37. Ricky Moore, the big fullback. He has 5 straight 100-yard days, and that's a rather impressive start to the afternoon. Moving it to the 46 defensively now, the number 2 defense in the country.
In the middle, Olympic hopeful Michael Carter.
Their linebackers can run, and Anthony Beverly is a leading tackler.
Larry Cox, a role player, gets the most out of his ability.
All-World Russell Carter. He was the Southwest Conference Defensive Player of the Year at the free safety spot. Second down and 2 yards to go. Jesse Bendros in motion. Moore again. This time, SMU reacts very well. That forward wall is called the TNT group. They must anchor in there. That forward wall of 3 men. It's now 3rd and 1, and they got to hold them here. Alabama, as we mentioned, coming to their 25th consecutive bowl game, a record 37 overall. They have 1 victory less than USC. They have the most of any team in the history of college football. On a 3rd and 1, Moore stacked up. Going to be very close. Doug Holly, Michael Carter in defensively for the Mustangs. SMU this year allowed only 9.9 points a game. That was a first down. To show you what the conditions are, 13 miles per hour, and that flag has been whipping around all afternoon and morning long.
And you mentioned that SMU, although they won the toss, elected to defend the goal. What they wanted to do, of course, was to hold Alabama to 3 plays, force them to punt, and get the wind at their back with good field position. Alabama did make a first down.
They have it now at their own 48. Ricky Moore again. And Moore gets into the SMU end of the field at the 49. Reggie Phillips on the tackle.
Ricky Moore has carried the ball 4 straight times here on the opening drive. Now, as talented as Walter Lewis is, and as well as Alabama throws the football, don't get us wrong in assuming that they are a throwing football team. They run the ball very, very effectively, and that's what makes them difficult to defend.
What they want to do is run the big fullback and then throw the high percentage passes.
Particularly when they're throwing the ball into the wind.
Kerry Good now in the backfield along with Moore. 2nd down and 8. This is Good. Gary Good very close to another first down as he approaches the 43-yard line. That was Anthony Beverly that made the tackle, number 31.
Well, speaking of Anthony Beverly, look at him. He is their leading tackler, only a sophomore. But this is what Alabama likes to do on 2nd and long, is really to run the draw play. And that's exactly what they did there. It was 2nd and 8, and Good picked up approximately 7 yards. But that is a big key for this defensive wall of SMU, including Anthony Beverly, to be concerned about, is the draw play of Alabama.
3rd down and 2. That's Bendros in motion again. Here is Good. He's going to get the first down as he fights his way to the 40-yard line. Russell Carter, the consensus All-American at free safety, up to make the stop for the Mustangs. SMU, very impressive. Nothing fancy. I mean impressive, but just coming right at him right now.
And considering the strength of this SMU defense, as we've talked, the 2nd-ranked defense in the country, that is an impressive drive thus far.
Bendros, Jones split out, single back of Ricky Moore. Lewis out to Ricky Moore. They don't throw to Moore that much. He moves the ball close to the 35-yard line. Doug Holly made the stop. In fact, Ricky Moore this year has just almost never been thrown to, but they're going to do it today.
Again, you see some of the offensive game plan that we talked about with Alabama, the short possession type passes, Gary, that you mentioned. Again, the wind is very much a factor. To try to counteract that, you run your fullback, you get your running game going, and you throw short passes to your wideouts and screen passes like we saw there to Ricky Moore. 2nd
down and 5 for the Tide. Moore again. And the 235-pounder has to work for everything. Cornelius Dozier, number 99, a sophomore out of Dallas, making the stop. It's going to bring up now 3rd down and still about 5 yards to go.
Here's a look at Ricky Moore. Ray Perkins says this game means an awful lot to Ricky Moore. He takes his football very, very seriously.
Ricky Moore out of Huntsville, an all Southeast Conference performer. Let's make it 3rd down and 2. Good, goes in motion. And Lewis hemmed in. Good reaction by Mitch Willis, number 98. Linebacker, number 97. A loss of 10 on the play.
putting pressure on Walter Lewis. That's exactly what SMU wanted to do. It was a 3rd and 2 situation, and Walter Lewis wanted to throw this ball very quickly, but you saw the inside pressure that didn't allow Lewis to do that. He tried to spin away, ended up falling down for the big loss and forcing Alabama to punt the football.
Weinbarger, a transfer from Iowa. He's been a big factor down the stretch for SMU. Malcolm Simmons, number 6, will punt. Gets it into the wind. Alabama hit it, but they could not control it, so it goes into the end zone for the touchback. 42-yard kick. And SMU will have the football at the 20-yard line. So Walter Lewis and his troops got some field position, but they had to give up the football. The SMU Bowl record, 3-4-1, including that win last year in the Cotton Bowl. From the 20-yard line now, Lance McElhaney and the Mustangs. Ahead comes Michael Mo Charles, the fullback. Well, they carried the ball 33 times, but Pat, that's what they want to do. They want to establish their fullback.
They want to work on the tackles of Alabama. Let's look at the backs and receivers for SMU. Quarterback Lance McElhaney, the best option quarterback in America.
Reggie Depard, he was a Southwest Conference Offensive Player of the Year.
And freshman flanker Ron Morris, he's their leading receiver, caught 41 passes.
Ryan O'Mara, that big line up front, he's an academic All-American selection, a pre-med student. Kreitz now comes in at fullback, replacing Charles. He and Depard in the backfield. Pleasant in motion. Here's Depard. Good reaction that time by Alabama. Defensively has struggled this year. Let's look defensively at the Tide as they have a 3rd and 7.
The big man up front, John Hand, he is the man that SMU wants to run at.
Vincent Elder's a former fullback. Ray Perkins says it's just a matter of time. He'll be a very fine player.
Emmanuel King, their leading tackler, has 11 quarterback sacks.
And Cornelius Bennett, a freshman, he has been a first-year terror at that linebacking spot.
Another terror, another freshman, Freddie Robinson at free safety.
3rd down now, 7 for SMU. Depard. He'll be dropped at the 27-yard line. He'll be short of the 1st down. Coming over was Sammy Hood along with Emmanuel King to make the stop.
That was a 3rd and 7 situation, as you mentioned, for SMU, and SMU is not accustomed to those kind of situations. They run the football so effectively. They're generally in 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3 situations where they can run their option play. There they were forced to throw the ball.
You can see Whit Smith has really improved his punting the last 6 games. The turnaround came in that Texas game. He's had some hypnosis just to try to improve his punting. Bad snap. Oh, he got it underway and hit it well. This is Greg Richardson, number 17, a freshman, to the 41-yard line. 45-yard kick that time by Whit Smith. A 13-yard return. T.D. Briggs on the stop. There's no score from El Paso.
I'm Doug Flutie from Boston College. I'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas.
I tell you, Doug Flutie's provided some excitement this year, hasn't he, for BC?
I think he's the most exciting player in America.
1st down now at the 41 for Alabama. 2nd possession. Lewis on a draw to carry Good. And Good may have gotten a yard, and that's all.
That is the 2nd draw play we have seen Alabama run here in the 1st quarter. Alabama is probably the best draw team in America. And that's really for a couple of reasons. Number one, because they throw the ball so effectively. But their offensive linemen, too, give a very good pass fake to allow those holes to open up for their draws.
They have 2 All-Southeast Conference linemen up front, and Neighbors and Adcock alongside each other to do that job.
That helps.
2nd down, 8. Looked like the blitz might be coming. They faked it. Lewis on target to Jesse Bendros. Bendros, who's averaged over 17 yards a catch in his career, made an 11-yard catch for the 1st down.
Again, Walter Lewis is very adept at reading the blitz. You see the people coming inside. 41 is Ben Wise. Walter Lewis gets the ball off, drills Jesse Bendros again against the wind, but he threw the ball right at Jesse Bendros' numbers. Big catch for the 1st down. Good throw.
Ray Perkins said that Bendros is fluid. He's so smooth, and you saw it there. 1st down now from the 46 of SMU. intended receiver was Jones. Lewis had a lot of time to throw the football. Fred Nichols defending for the Ponies of SMU.
He did have a lot of time to throw the football, Walter Lewis did, but take a look at the defensive secondary of SMU. We're not going to get that look.
Cold weather affecting the gear here too, huh?
Very good coverage by the SMU secondary. Forced Walter Lewis to go to an alternate receiver.
Second down, 10.
It's a drawdown.
Good. Across the 35 to the 25 to the 15, 13-yard line. There's a flag on the play. He has such good vision, and you saw it there, Pat. He saw the entire field. Let's see what the penalty flag's about.
Kerry Good, the outstanding freshman. You mentioned vision. That's the most critical element for any running back to have. And you can see him make a few people miss. He sees the entire football field and picks up a big, again, another look at the freshman from Town Creek, Alabama. Got his opportunity to play this year. Look at that big hole there for Kerry Good as he busts through. A good call, a little trap play. Not a bad call on a 2nd and 10 situation. Kerry Good takes advantage of it, brings the ball down inside the 10-yard line.
The penalty was tackling by face mask, assessed against SMU. Good, as you mentioned, is from Town Creek. Population, are you one? That's quite a football family. He's got a brother that's an outstanding sophomore in high school, another brother in college playing.
Most of the population are Goods.
First down, and this time Ricky Moore runs into a lot of congestion up front.
This is an area of the football field where SMU's defense has been very good all season long. They've had big goal line stands this year against TCU, against Texas A&M. They're very tough down here.
SMU team, the one thing that Ray Perkins said about them defensively is they run so well. They have outstanding speed, especially at the linebacking spot. There's the statistics, 2nd down and goal at the 6. Fighting for the goal line. He'll be at the 1. He's just like a sledgehammer. He's a battering ram.
Number 29, Russell Carter, off the stop.
Sledgehammer is right. He weighs 235 pounds, and he has a nose for the end zone as he has pitched the ball. They go over the left side. Hardy Walker's the left tackle. A big surge by the offensive line allowed Ricky Moore to get past the line of scrimmage and, of course, down to the 1-yard line.
3rd and goal at that point. Moore was trying to become the 3rd guy to rush for 1,000 yards this year in Alabama history. He just missed it with 9:47. Moore. Touchdown. The 2nd-ranked defense in the country has given up 6 points. And Ricky Moore, he just wasn't going to give up on that one. Point after attempt by Van Tiffen, a freshman out of Red Bay, Alabama. Malcolm Simmons holding. And the Tide has taken a 7-0 lead. Alabama, who averaged almost 31 points a game this year.
This touchdown was the same play they ran the play before. A little pitch to Ricky Moore. They were successful, and you're going to see some determination by this young man. There's not one player that can bring him down. You need 2 or 3 players, and you see there's the result. Here's another look at the impact. We said SMU has been very tough down by the goal line, but Ricky Moore, this game means an awful lot to him. Watch his determination. But really, the big play that put them in position to score was the draw play. And here you're going to take a look at it. A little trap inside to 35, Kerry Good. Again, one more look at the vision. Gets him inside the 10-yard line. Allows Ricky Moore to bring the ball into the end zone and the Alabama lead.
The determination, the strength of Ricky Moore, who just scored his 9th touchdown of the year. Alabama leads it 7-0. Kicking off is Terry Sanders. Back deep, Ron Morris, a freshman flyer. And you can see the wind playing havoc with that one. Picked up short by Hubbard, a tight end. That is Greg Hubbard, a sophomore out of Hurst, Texas, and he does a pretty good job with it. Moves it out across the 30-yard line, a 15-yard return, and that ball was crazy. It was just going all over the place. Now offensively, you see Hellestray, number 70 there. He's a change in the offensive line. SMU has lost 3 offensive linemen in the last 3 games.
But during the course of the year, they really played 2 offensive lines, so the replacements that have come in and filled in are very experienced.
Lance McElhaney, his team trailing by 7 from the 32. The pitch back to Jeff Atkins, and the freshman from Fort Worth out to the 39.
That was the option play into the boundary that we talked about earlier in the game. And here, nobody does this pitch better than Lance McElhaney. Watch him down and read, and then he just flicks the ball out. He doesn't even look at the back, but it's a perfect pitch to Jeff Atkins. When you run the option play that way, it's the most difficult play in college football to defend.
And Lance does it with a certain flair, doesn't he?
He sure does.
From the 39, second down and 3. That's Morris in motion. The give to Atkins, and nothing this time. He may have lost a yard on the play. Emmanuel King, number 92, on the tackle.
To look at Jeff Atkins, he set a freshman rushing record in the Southwest Conference this year. Broke Earl Campbell's record.
This is El Paso. What wonderful Southwest hospitality we've had here. And this is the golden anniversary game, and we feel the best matchup in Sun Bowl history. 7-0 Alabama with the lead. 3rd and 3 for the Mustangs. Marquise Pleasant has a first down catch across the 45-yard line. Sammy Hood, number 43, on the tackle.
A very nice call on 3rd and 3. It's a safe pass. It's going to pick you up a first down, and well thrown by Lance McElhaney. He doesn't have the strongest arm in the country. That ball was delivered very well, very catchable by Marcus Pleasant.
That's the initial first down of the game now for SMU. Lance, the winningest quarterback in Southwest Conference history, won 34 games. Became a starter in the 7th game of his freshman season. Deflected. Defensively, Scott McRae, 45, in the vicinity of the ball. That'll bring up second down. SMU known for their running, but McElhaney, he's got outstanding wideouts in Morris and Pleasant.
And the point is, he has the wind at his back right now, so he wants to take advantage of that as soon as he can. But you can see the tremendous pass coverage here by Alabama. You see how many people there are deep. It is very difficult to beat Alabama's defenders deep, so they're going to have to throw the shorter routes in front of them.
Second down, 10. And McElhaney wants to call a timeout. He didn't like what he saw, and so he'll trot over to Coach Bobby Collins. Alabama with a 7-0 lead. 3:05 to go in quarter number 1. Temperature 24 degrees, and look at the wind. And you can see the cold hands of Lance McElhaney. We might see the option here. SMU likes to run it on this type situation, but McElhaney to sprint out. And he's going to be a yard, maybe 2 yards short of the first down. Ricky Thomas, the strong safety, on the tackle. Had an interesting thing about SMU in the option. When McElhaney is in there, he has 2 different kinds of problems at his tailback spot. For instance, Atkins doesn't catch the ball as well as Dupart.
And that's exactly right. And when they run the option play, they would prefer to see Reggie Dupart, and he has better hands. And believe me, catching an option pitch, which is blind by Lance McElhaney a number of times, is just as difficult as catching a screen pass or a pass out in the flat. So you want a man with good hands as Dupart.
And being cold today makes it even more difficult. 3rd and 2. Mishandled snap. And Lance trying to get back on it. Alabama says they have it. Sammy Hood was the guy that recovered for the tie, number 43.
Once more, in the cold weather, sometimes you're going to have some problems with the exchange there. Lance McElhaney never looked like he had quite control of the football. The ball bounces down on the turf, and there's Sammy Hood, number 43, to make a big recovery for Alabama.
Sammy Hood, who Ray Perkins says gets the most out of his ability. Of the 49, Lewis to throw. Rick Richardson. Greg Richardson inside the 20. 32-yard pass completion.
How many times have you seen after a turnover the opposing team take the ball, come up with a big play? And you're going to see one right here from Walter Lewis. At the bottom of the screen, number 17, freshman Greg Richardson. There's a big hole right there in the center of the defense. What had happened, the other receiver, Joey Jones, had cleared out his zone, allowed Greg Richardson to come behind it and hit the big opening.
Richardson with that brilliant speed. Forrest with lots of time. Scrambles to the 15. He's to the 11. Got to cover the whole field with Lewis is back there.
A lot like Turner Gill when you say that. You do have to defend the whole field. He can run options on you. He can throw the football downfield, and he can scramble right there. The impromptu play.
It'll bring up 2nd down and 2 for Walter Lewis. The all-time total offense leader for Alabama. And you can see right now dominating. Richardson in motion. The pitch comes to Moore. Touchdown. And Ricky Moore has just added his 2nd touchdown of the day. So after the turnover, they go 51 yards. And Tiffin the point after.
Coming into this football game, the SMU defense had only given up 4 rushing touchdowns. They'd given up 2 here in the first half of this game. Ricky Moore, we talked about how SMU's team is very quick on defense. Well, sometimes they can overrun plays, and that's exactly what happened there. The defense overreacted. They thought Ricky Moore was going to go to the outside. Ricky Moore cut back, found a big hole, burst up the middle for his 2nd score of the day.
And I'm impressed with the diversification of Alabama. They threw it. They pitched, and that drive.
They're an opportunistic offense after the turnover. Again, you've seen that so many times. The team gets a turnover, comes up with a big play, puts them in position to score. Is he from Hawaii? I see Russ Francis doing that all the time.
I thought maybe there's a hook 'em horn sign.
I doubt it.
Alabama has really had the good field position. Just been outstanding thus far. They started once from the 38, once from the 41, and once from the 49. With a 14-0 lead. Terry Sanders will kick off to Ron Morris. In back deep. Another wobbly kick. Again, this is Hubbard. And Greg Hubbard brings it out across the 35. Well, Monday we have a special treat for you. The NFC wildcard game. The Rams against the Cowboys. And Eric Dickerson, who did so well for these Mustangs last year. What a player he's been this year. The NFL's leading rusher. And it all will start with the NFL today. And your friend John Robinson had a very successful debut in the NFL.
Hasn't he, though? I think they're going to give the Cowboys a very good football game. A little chilly in the Sun Bowl, Gary.
Just a little. But I tell you, we have a hearty crowd, a good crowd on hand. They sold a record number of tickets for this game. From the 36, Dupard. Alabama is swarming people now defensively.
Welcome to the Cold Bowl, yeah.
Let me tell you, the hospitality, the warmth of these people here offsets any kind of weather we could have.
Gary, I use the word play very loosely, but didn't you play in the Sun Bowl a few years ago?
Very poorly and very little. 2nd down and 8. That's the reason I'm broadcasting.
Wichita State Flash.
Wrights and Dupard are in the backfield now for Lance McElhaney. Wide open was Morris. Ron Morris, and they gobbled up some yardage in a hurry. 26 yards to be exact.
They gobbled up a lot of yardage. Had this ball been well thrown, though, Gary, it would have been a touchdown. Lance McElhaney does have the wind behind him. He's a very effective quarterback. He doesn't have the strongest arm. This ball is a little bit low. Had Ron Morris been able to catch that in stride, he was gone. He has 10-4, 100-meter speeds. Let's take a look, an isolated look at Ron Morris. He's right there in the middle of your screen. He just breaks right over the middle. He's wide open. Ball underthrown. Ron Morris can't keep his feet.
He set a Southwest Conference freshman record with 41 catches this year. This time, Charles just hit a brick wall. That was John Hand, number 78, that led that charge defensively. And this first quarter has come to a close. It's been Alabama, the Crimson Tide, right now leading the 6th-ranked SMU Mustangs 14-0. SMU has not trailed by 14 points since 1980. And now, as we start the second quarter, they have a 2nd down 8 at the 34 of Bama. McElhaney will make it to the 31, a penalty flag. John Hand again, the biggest player in Alabama history at 6'7", in the vicinity of 270 pounds.
There's Lance McElhaney. We saw a little earlier in the game when Ron Morris was open on that play. Sometimes when you get a receiver as open as Ron Morris was, you try to aim the football, and it looked like Lance was trying to do that. Again, had he thrown that ball well to Ron Morris, there was nobody within 20 yards of him and would have easily scored.
Well, the penalty's going to go against SMU. We have an illegal block on the play. It was away from the ball, actually. And they're going to back him up. First quarter statistics, you can see Alabama's been dominating.
The amazing thing is that first quarter Alabama was going into the win the entire quarter, of course. Scored 2 big touchdowns, one after the turnover.
We're having a little difficulty with the referee's microphone. This weather affecting the gear. But I tell you, our people are tough, aren't they? They're hanging in there. Those cameramen up on the top.
Speak for yourself.
The penalty now makes it 2nd and 23. Forward pitch fumbled by Dupard. A little shovel pass that time. And Dupard was fortunate to get back on the football.
It's an incompleted pass, though. That is not a fumble.
And so it will bring up 3rd down.
It's almost like a draw play here. As you mentioned, it's a little shovel pass. Lance drops back, tries to invite the defensive lineman to come upfield. You see big John Hand coming right there, but actually had to pitch the ball around John Hand, and it was behind Reggie Dupard. But once the ball hits the ground, it is an incompleted pass.
23 yards to go now on 3rd down. See Lance battling the elements, trying to keep those hands warm. You've talked about your hands don't stretch well on a cold day.
When you're playing in the warm weather, really, your hands do stretch as you're trying to grip the football. But in this kind of weather, you don't have that feel for the football that you normally do.
From the 49 of Alabama. McElhaney in trouble. Randy Edwards, one of the co-captains, number 96, on the stop for Alabama. An 11-yard loss on the play.
92.
Edwards, along with Walter Lewis, elected as co-captains. They had game captains all year until this game.
Again, very good coverage by the Alabama secondary. It's a very disciplined defense.
There is Greg Richardson. He'll receive this punt from Whit Smith. Into the wind. Richardson gonna let it bounce, and SMU gets a break. It'll roll down almost to the 13-yard line. So Alabama, who had the good field position all day long, will not have this time. 46-yard kick. Well, tomorrow, Christmas Day, after you've settled back and had your long winter nap, you'll be able to join us for the 46th annual Blue-Gray football game. Some of the nation's top college seniors, Benton Bennett of Duke and Tom Tunnicliffe of Arizona, and then the Knicks and Nets. How about the King family, Bernard King against Albert King in that game? All tomorrow. We hope you'll join us. Lewis on a draw. And powering out there comes Lenny Patrick, number 25. A man who's been stymied his entire career by injuries. But he really did a good job on that one.
Another draw play by this Alabama offense. They've thrown the ball effectively here in the first half. That sets up plays like this. And watch how far Lenny Patrick goes in the defensive secondary before he's even hit. He is way over the line of scrimmage, 5, 6, 7 yards before any of the defensive secondary of SMU have an opportunity to touch him.
A 14-yard run by Patrick. Good comes in to replace him. Ricky Moore, the fullback. Penalty flag at the 31-yard line. Ben Wise, 41, made the stop. And John McClintock will sort things up. Going to be holding against Alabama. First penalty against the Tide. That's about the only thing that hasn't gone well for Ray Perkins. This is a man that has impressed us, Matt. We've had 2 games this year on CBS that you and I have been involved in. And he has been so hospitable. He has really been open. He's given us outstanding depth and insights on his team.
Great deal of respect for him and his staff and the whole university. What a tradition Alabama has.
He's come in, he's changed some things, but I think he said the right things too. He said, I am not coming in to replace the Bear. I'm just following. So the penalty moves it back to the 21. It'll be first down 17. Patrick comes back in at running back for Alabama. SMU, they led the Southwest Conference in rushing, but right now with 8. Lewis on the keeper. Preston Gothard, the tight end. 18-yard completion.
2nd and 17, a very nice call by Alabama. We've seen them run the fullback. We've seen this trap. That was the same play a little earlier that Kerry Good had the big play on, so you have to respect it. And then they just punch the ball right over to the tight end, Preston Gothard, who makes a nice catch. But great diversity. They throw the ball to the wide receivers. They give 3 or 4 backs the ball. Then they find a way to get the ball to the tight end.
9 first downs now for Alabama. The pitch to Patrick. Lenny Patrick out of Jasper, Alabama. Came out of high school, rated 2nd only to Herschel Walker. As we said, he's just had nagging injuries his entire season and career.
He's one of Bear Bryant's favorites.
Bobby Collins would like to get something cranked up for his team.
Boy, has he been good to us as well. I'm very, very impressed with his staff.
They've been with him from Southern Mississippi right into SMU, most of them. Lewis to Ricky Moore. And Moore is close to the 49 and close to another first down. Larry Fox will be credited with a tackle, number 47.
Let's take a look at the line play of Alabama. We've seen how Alabama has controlled the line of scrimmage. Watch number 76, the left guard, Mike Adcock. We said he is an all-SEC performer. He drives his man back 3 or 4 yards to give his running back an opportunity for the big play.
They call him Pops.
He's a mature-looking guy, isn't he?
They say, I think Ray Perkins said he was a senior statesman on the offensive line.
He's doing something right now. It's amazing. They have 3 of the offensive linemen from Huntsville, Alabama. A lot of good football players come out of there.
Well, they had another one earlier in the year at Session, and he got hurt. So that's provided a lot of good football players. Huntsville has. It's going to be 3rd down and inches.
Average yards on first down, but you saw one of the reasons the blocks by Mike Adcock allow Alabama to do that on first down.
On the 49 on the 3rd down. Richardson in motion. Lewis sneaks, but penalty flags are in the air. He had enough for the first down, but let's see what the penalty's about.
I believe that Walter Lewis drew them off sides with his voice inflection.
Offside. You're right. You called it. Walter Lewis, Ray Perkins said, cares about people. He likes other people.
Watch the nose guard of SMU right there, number 74. He has got his head down. That's Michael Carter. And Walter Lewis is going to, remember, it's 3rd and inches. He is all primed to go. Walter Lewis goes on a long count and draws him off sides. Good thinking by Walter Lewis.
You used to be a master at that, I remember, when you played with the Rams. That strong, vocal cadence that you would come up with. You were drawing guys offside all the time.
Well, you know, it really is. And I actually waited to third down in situations to use it to go on a long count on 3rd and 4 and 3rd and 5 situations. Most defensive linemen really want to get off the ball because they want to sack you. If you go on a long count, you have a greater tendency to bring them off sides.
First down from the 46. Joey Jones at the 30-yard line. 16-yard completion to Jones. The all-conference performer, a little shaken up on the play.
Joey Jones, an isolated look at Joey Jones. He's running against Fred Nichols, number 25. He has tremendous determination, wants to get the football. He's not afraid to go over the middle. He's a small man. He knows he's going to get hit. He goes down, secures the football, then takes a little pop afterwards.
You're talking about that determination. Ray Perkins says he's got great desire to go to the ball, and there was an example.
Reminded Ray Perkins of Randy Fataha, except faster.
Lewis now has hit 4 of 5 for the game. Patrick again. Patrick, good leg drive inside the 25-yard line to the 23.
You have to be impressed with the way Alabama is mixing up their plays, their play selection. You've seen Walter Lewis roll out and throw the ball to the tight end. You've seen them run draws. You've seen them run traps. You've seen play action passes and throwing the ball to the flankers and to their split ends. They've run screens. That's what makes them very difficult to defend. And they're doing this against the second-ranked defense in the NCAA.
Second down and 4. And Ricky Moore inside the 20-yard line, and let's see if they got the first down for him. They may have to measure to see. There's your time left, and Alabama had, what, 9 minutes in the first quarter they had the football.
We see them measuring for a first down now, but up to this point, Alabama's had 4 third down plays. They've had 1 3rd and 1, they had a 3rd and 2, they had a 3rd and 2, and another 3rd and 1. So they are putting themselves in a position to pick up a lot of first downs.
Now you're talking about that number 2 ranked defense. They're already over their seasonal average, 117 yards against SMU already. So the indication is they are short. It'll be 3rd down. And again, for the second time on this drive, 3rd down and inches.
The last time Walter Lewis went on a long count and drew Michael Carter off sides.
Just inside the 20. Moore, Patrick in the backfield. Lewis will sneak it, same play and same result.
Isn't it interesting, though? There he went on a quick count. Again, using your cadence, using your snap count can really be effective for a quarterback.
Walter Lewis has done so many things so well for this Alabama team, and he had to make a big adjustment this year, Pat. They got out of the wishbone into this new offense.
And you can only change or adjust as fast as your quarterback does, and Walter Lewis has done that. Ray Perkins said he's the best quarterback I've worked with since Dan Fouts.
So Lewis now with a first down has Bedros back in the ball game. Moore and Patrick the running backs. He was hit as he threw the ball. That's Bedros, incomplete. He had it for a moment. Jesse Bedros almost made the catch at the 1. Looked like Beverly from the backside got a piece of Lewis when he threw the football.
Either that or the ball was tipped. You're going to see it's a blitz. You can see right there from the middle of your screen the 2 inside linebackers are coming, but he's got pretty good protection. There's Beverly. The ball does get tipped, but it's still very, very catchable by Jesse Bedros. That ball should have easily been caught. What happened when Jesse Bedros hit the ground, the ball popped up, but Bedros should have secured it, would have had a big first down inside the 5-yard line.
Second down, 10.
Again, a big drawdown for the Crimson Tide.
Jones, Bedros, the wideouts. Walter Lewis to the 15. They're going to mark his progress at about the 14 where he went out of bounds. Beverly was over there again, out of San Antonio. Beverly, a second-team All-Southwest Conference pick. Beverly's been all over the place.
has tremendous speed. Both of their outside linebackers do.
They call him the Bishop because he has such a passion for chess. He loves to play chess.
What a nice man. I spent a little time with him yesterday. Very good man.
3rd down, 5 for the Tide. Kerry Good comes back into the backfield. Lewis. And the catch is made by Bendros at the 5. Rod Jones and Ben Wise double-teamed him there. That would give them a 1st and goal.
This is a little pass play that Ray Perkins has used for years, even when he was with the Giants. Jesse Bendros, the flanker, in motion. He just needs 5 yards to pick up the 1st down. He settles down in a dead spot there, does finally secure the football, makes the catch for the 1st down.
Bendros coming into this game at 27 catches. He has it 1st and goal just outside the 5. Pitch back to Patrick, flag on the play, and Patrick at the 3, but penalty flags both sides of the field. Clarence McDade, 91, made the stop for SMU.
Looked like SMU was offsides.
You're sharp today.
Yeah, a little of my Hank Stram.
So the penalty, again, I suspect Lewis changing it a little bit, the cadence up front.
We've seen him go on quick counts, on long counts, and he really is affecting the defensive charge of the SMU Mustangs.
So they're going to have, what, half the distance here, and that will move it just inside the 3-yard line. Alabama losing 4 games this year, but all of them to bowl-bound teams.
None of them by greater than 7 points. And really, they lost all those games in the last series, the last drive of the football game.
Thornton Chandler comes in, so they have a double tight end alignment. Lewis to Patrick. Tremendous effort, but very little gain on the play. And Patrick, who's been given an opportunity to play today, and it's been equal to him.
Well, if you're sitting at home and want to play defensive back on the goal line defense, this is what you're going to see. Here's Lenny Patrick coming right at you. And you see Clarence McDade there make the 1st stop. Then Ben Wise, number 41, to give him some more help. And the rest of the SMU defense is there to put the stop on him. Again, SMU's defense has been very effective inside the 10-yard line this season, although Alabama's been tough today.
This is the 13th play of this drive. 2nd and goal at the 2. Remember, this drive started from the Alabama 14. Ricky Moore. And Moore does not get in. It'll be 3rd down. Ben Wise again in on the tackle. The Tide with a 14-0 lead, and now with a 3rd and goal at the 1. Michael Carter, he is the All-Southwest Conference nose guard. Lewis on the keeper, touchdown. Outstanding ball handling that time by Walter Lewis. 20-0. Van Tiffin to attempt the point after. And Van Tiffin makes it 21-0. That was the most impressive drive of the day. 86 yards.
A very good fake here by Walter Lewis. Remember, it's 3rd and 1. If you're a linebacker, you're expecting to see Lenny Patrick over the top. And so they fake that and give Walter Lewis the ball running outside. He beats the defenders into the corner of the end zone. Again, one more look at the fake here. Right there, everybody's expecting Lenny Patrick to have the football, and you have to respect him because he's run the ball so well here in the first half. But this drive was the culmination of a lot of different types of plays by Alabama. We saw them throw the football to Joey Jones and Jesse Vendros. We saw some very strong running, and that results another touchdown for the Crimson Tide.
Boy, what an impressive drive. Look at the time, look at the distance, and as you said just a moment ago, Pat, they had a little bit of everything. Terry Sanders, number 2, will kick off. Alabama with a 21-0 lead, and the wind is going to take this one. In 1979, SMU trailed by this amount of points, 21. That was against the Arkansas Razorbacks. Now, Pat, catch up. You're going into the wind. You have 7:16 left in the first half.
There's still plenty of time. They still have a lot of offensive weapons. They have 2 very outstanding wide receivers. They have 2 very good running backs. They still need to be patient because Alabama is not the kind of team that gives up cheap touchdowns.
McElhaney giving off to Jeff Adkins. Adkins, who set a Southwest Conference freshman rushing record this year. Benson Elder on the stop, and here shows you some of the success that the Sun Bowl people have achieved this year. A record crowd here, 41,412. Congratulations to Harris Hatfield and Jimmy Rogers and John Fulmer. Tom Starr, the executive director, has done a super job. There's Adkins again. Atkins out to the 28. Anthony Smiley made the stop. 3rd down, and SMU needs to convert it here. Smiley, the backup to Emmanuel King. Alabama now with some alternate people in there. 3rd down, 2. This Alabama secondary was the question mark all year long. It was inexperienced, starting a couple of freshmen, but they've gained some confidence. Oh, what a pitch that time to Atkins. The ball is loose. At the 50-yard line, they unpile, and who's got it? They gave it to Alabama. Another costly turnover for SMU.
But Gary, you set this up earlier in the game when you talked about Jeff Atkins' hands running the option. Remember, we said Reggie Depard, the other tailback, has better hands and catches the options a little bit better. Here's Jeff Atkins. The ball is well pitched. He just can't quite hang on to it. And the ball is kicked off his foot, and Alabama makes the recovery. But if they're going to run the option play, SMU is going to have to use Reggie Depard, number 21.
That was Cornelius Bennett, the freshman, that recovered the fumble. At the 50, the Tide has it, and they have a 21-0 lead. Pat and I were talking about the differences in tailbacks. There's Reggie Depard, and then there's number 32, Jeff Adkins, a talented freshman, but he's had a tough time this year catching the pitch. And there was a very costly turnover for SMU. Alabama has it just inside the SMU end of the field. Lenny Patrick, Ricky Moore in the backfield. Lewis going to go for a lot of it. Caught by Gothard, the tight end. About a yard short of the first down. Preston Gothard, a walk-on. He was a 3rd-string tight end at the start of the year, and he's been the starter down the stretch. Actually transferred from Alabama Montgomery. 2nd and 1. Greg Richardson is split to the top of the screen. Jones to the bottom. That's Lenny Patrick in motion. And Lewis going to lose a yard on that play. Tom Linebarger, 97, on the stop out of Freeport, Illinois. The transfer from Iowa, who, as a junior, will be the guy they'll look to next year to lead them up front.
Sometimes when a quarterback gets sacked, it is not necessarily the offensive lineman's fault. They have good pass coverage, as you see SMU here. Again, they've got very good coverage in the wideouts of Alabama. Gave Walter Lewis nowhere really to throw the football. And then Walter Lewis has to step up. He gets sacked for about a 2-yard loss. But good coverage by the secondary of SMU.
3rd down and 3. Again, he's in trouble. He gets out of it to the 30. 1st down. Oh, the added dimension when you can run like that. 13-yard pickup.
When you get to Walter Lewis, only half the battle is won. You still got to get him down, and this guy is an athlete. Watch him as he steps up, breaks a tackle, 3rd and 3, and then he turns on the juice. The impromptu play by Walter Lewis.
Pat, I was interested. Ray Perkins feels that Lewis can make it as a pro quarterback.
I think if somebody is willing to give Walter Lewis a chance, he can do it. He is not that tall, but he's got a very strong arm. It's just a matter of him getting a chance.
From the 29, Lenny Patrick. Patrick close to the 25-yard line. Linebarger again on the stop for SMU. There's your time, and Alabama is enjoying this golden anniversary game right now. They've lost 2 in a row. Tough losses to Boston College, then to Auburn. And today, they're kind of taking out some of those frustrations.
The calmness of Walter Lewis, he really seems to stay aloof of all the intensity of a football game.
Walter Lewis on target. That's Thornton Chandler, the tight end. Big 6'6" sophomore. Chandler is a transfer from Florida A&M, and he was the starter at the beginning of the season. And he moves the chains for a 1st down to the 15. Lewis now is 7 of 9 for 104 yards.
SMU has just not been able to slow Alabama's offense down.
That's Richardson in motion. Lewis on the option. He gives straight ahead that time to Ricky Moore. T.D. Briggs, inside linebacker, along with Ron Anderson, combining on the tackle. You figure that this SMU pride defensively is going to have to come to the forefront in a hurry, or this game is going to get out of hand.
SMU's defense really is generally not on the field this much. SMU's offense normally controls the football, but they haven't here in this 1st half.
Patrick Moore in the backfield, 2nd and about 7. Here is Patrick. Patrick inside the 10-yard line. He's got to get to the 5 for a 1st and goal. Dwayne Anderson. Anderson is very underrated because of Russell Carter. Carter got most of the ink. They call this guy Dangerous Dwayne. He goes after you.
Has 4 interceptions this year, and as you mentioned, he will tattoo you. Come in his area.
Got those ear holes all taped up, don't they? 3rd down 4. The draw. The ball is loose. Let's see what they're going to rule it. It is going to be SMU's ball. Michael Carter, the world-class shot putter, 6-time NCAA champion. That might be the play that can pivot this game around for them.
Well, their defense needed to come up with a big play, and that's right at the right time. You saw Walter Lewis, who was trying to run a quarterback draw. The ball popped out. Michael Carter made the big recovery. We'll be back. Michael Carter, SMU's nose guard, number 74. Watch how quickly he gets off the ball. Then you're going to see him tap the ball out of Walter Lewis's hand right there. Then he makes his first fumble recovery of the season, but he did it all himself. Michael Carter, there he is.
They say he's had more fun this year, played with more emotion than in any other season. From the 15-yard line, let's see if SMU can build something from here. McElhaney back to DePard, and DePard gets 8, maybe 9 yards. Kurt Jarvis, the freshman nose guard, made the tackle. We have a man shaken up for the Mustangs.
We saw Reggie DePard handle that pitch very easily, though. We again distinguishes between Reggie DePard and Jeff Atkins.
Here is Brian O'Meara, the academic All-American, down, and they'll look him over. And while we have a break in the action, 1:33 left in this first half. The Roll Tide Roll slogan is right now in effect. See how he won the game last night? Young caught the pass and beat Missouri in the Holiday Bowl. O'Meara now has come out of the ball game. McElhaney throwing. Intended receiver is Ron Morris, and good coverage that time by Alabama. That was Cornelius Bennett, who has just been sensational in his first year. O'Meara being hurt, Pat, just further reinforces the problems that SMU has had in that offensive line.
Actually, he is the 4th offensive lineman they've lost in the last 4 games. Now, the only advantage, as we mentioned earlier, SMU all season long had played a lot of offensive linemen, so they had some depth and some people experienced to step in. But Brian O'Meara is a heck of a guy to try to replace.
Roy Dunn is now in at tackle. Hellestray remains in at guard. 3rd down 2. Dupard. And there again, Pat, shows you how well Dupard catches the pitch.
And it's amazing how quickly Lance McElhaney gets rid of the football on that pitch and pitches it so well. It really is astounding what he can do. That pitch that he made just there is just as difficult as throwing a 15-yard out pass, believe me.
They don't have a lot of time, as you can see, but they have a first down. That's only the 3rd first down for SMU. Alabama has 14. Line of scrimmage, the 31. McElhaney, and it's a wounded duck. And the interception is going to go to Freddie Robinson, his 3rd of the year. A freshman out of Mobile.
Lance McElhaney was throwing this ball into the wind, and again, the Alabama defense here, it's going to be very difficult to beat them deep. They're playing very soft. The ball gets caught up in the air. You can see it is a wounded duck. It's right there to number 21, Freddie Robinson. He makes the interception. Yep. Here's the isolated look. He was trying to get the ball right down to 23, Ron Morris, who completely overthrew him, and there was Robinson.
Robinson is the man who they feel has the most talent in that secondary. They look for a good future. 3rd turnover now against the Mustangs. Lewis Pengos, the intended receiver. Mentioned Freddie Robinson. He is a redshirt freshman.
He started the year at corner. Then they moved him to free safety.
Last 2 games they did that. They really had to do some patchwork back there, but Stan Gay has played as the old man of the secondary, and they've got Thomas Robinson, the 2 freshmen at safety. 1:04 left in the first half. At halftime, we're going to have a very colorful halftime for you. Lewis, first down. Ben Wise made the stop, but a 13-yard run. Becoming a little bit of a frustrating afternoon right now for the Mustangs, as Alabama now has asked for a timeout. Alabama and SMU, rich traditions, outstanding universities. Let's visit those 2 campuses. Record crowd of over 41,000. The golden anniversary game of the Sun Bowl. Outstanding hospitality, hardy football fans, and Alabama has put on quite a show in this first half. That pass intended for Preston Gothard. Bring up 2nd and 10. Offside, however, against SMU. That's that same story.
Walter Lewis using his cadence very effectively to get 5 cheap yards.
At halftime, the festivities. We have the bands, the dancers, all starting to form on the sidelines. We have a special Christmas present for you, one that Pat and I are just really excited to show you.
Boy.
Showing you some of the emotion, the highlights of this 1983 season.
Yeah, that doesn't give you goosebumps. Call them more, I'll tell you what.
Makes you realize how much has happened this year.
It's been a fun year.
It really has. So the penalty makes it 1st and 5. Lewis, complete to Thornton Chandler to the 20. And they'll mark his progress at the 19. Fred Nichols running him out, and Alabama now with 49 seconds trying to mount more to their lead.
Walter Lewis just keeps finding ways to pick the SMU secondary apart. And here he finds his second string tight end, Thornton Chandler. Again, the ball beautifully thrown. He's a big target. He's 6'6". He catches the ball and gets out of bounds, stopping the clock, putting them in position with 49 seconds. I like those guys.
At the 19-yard line now. First down after that 25-yard completion. Lewis. End zone. Touchdown, Jones.
Unbelievable poise.
Well, this game has now moved from surprising to stunning. 27 points against the #2 defense in the country. And still 43 seconds left in the first half. 62-yard drive. It took only 4 plays. Joey Jones. Tiffin makes it 28-0, and we're going to be right back at the Sun Bowl after we take a look at this replay.
This touchdown is all Walter Lewis, the field presence of Walter Lewis. Watch this again. Once you get to him, you see the blitz 41, Ben Wise. He has a clear shot at him. Somehow, Walter Lewis avoids that, delivers the ball beautifully to Joey Jones. But Walter Lewis threw that with all arm, which gives you the indication, look, he doesn't even get a chance to step forward on this throw. This throw is all arm. The athleticism of Walter Lewis. He finds a way to beat you.
All right, now we're going to go away. And for this message from the Sun Bowl committee, the people who've been awfully nice to us this time. Joey Jones, Pat, was his 16th career touchdown catch. The Alabama record is 18. They think the Jones and Bendros the best combination since Ray Perkins and Dennis Holman.
Boy, did he have a career. He was there for 5 years. They lost 2 games and won 2 national championships.
Terry Sanders will kick off. Boy, Morris having a tough time with that one, isn't he? The touchback will bring it out to the 20-yard line. I would say right now, SMU is in a little bit of a state of shock.
You want to go on a limb like that?
But just like that last play would certainly give you an indication of that. Well, we're going to be at the end of this ball game selecting the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player from each of the teams, and Chevrolet will donate a $1,000 scholarship to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. And right now, Alabama's got about 12 guys that might get that award. Jeff Atkins. Atkins will bull his way to the 22-yard line. And with 33 seconds left, SMU is going to have to regroup and play some catch-up. Some catch-up, but they're not used to playing. Morris, Pleasant, split out. McElhaney pitching back to Atkins. He has a first down, and he stops the clock with 3 seconds. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas
And a Happy New Year.
All those that are watching also, this has been a fine way to be spending the holiday season. We hope you're enjoying this. At the first half.
Really nothing like college football. This first half really has been the domination of the offensive line, in my mind, of Alabama.
I'll tell you another thing. Walter Lewis has shown when he gets out there, the field's too big. You can't cover him all.
Well, Ray Perkins is right. He's an awfully good one.
At halftime, again, I hope you'll be with us. We have a highlight package showing you the emotion of this season. And also a halftime show. Well, we watched him work out yesterday and perform and rehearse, and I think you're going to enjoy that. And also a look ahead to tomorrow, the blue-gray game. And of course, that NBA game, the Knicks and Nets, the King brothers against each other. There's Lance McElhaney with 3 seconds left. And Walter Lewis, who's put 28 points on the scoreboard.
He really does stay above it all.
first half. Intercepted almost by Stan Gay. Our score at halftime, 28-0. Alabama will be back with halftime festivities after this word about an upcoming show on CBS and a message.
It has been the story. Let's take a look at him right here. Again, the play action fake here. He runs around, beats the defenders, scrambles into the end zone, but the day has belonged to Walter Lewis. He's 9 of 12 for 148 yards. And here's another touchdown throw by Walter Lewis. As you see him drop back, some of the athleticism. There's a clean miss there by Ben Wise. The linebacker allows Walter Lewis to throw the ball across his body. Well thrown to Joey Jones right there for another touchdown. What's going to happen, seems to me here, Gary, in this second half is for SMU to come out and really make something happen, big plays. Special teams, defensively, offensively, somebody's going to have to stand forward and come up with a couple of big plays.
And I think the question mark is, how good a catch-up team is SMU?
Well, as you mentioned a couple of times, SMU has not been in this position very often, so we don't know. That has to be answered.
Okay, 28-0. Alabama, the Tide, really playing a remarkable first half of play. We'll be back to start the second half in a moment.
50th Annual Sun Bowl is sponsored by Mazda and the full line of sophisticated Mazda products. AT&T, the more you hear, the better we sound. And by Avis, trying harder makes Avis second to none.
Gary Bender, along with Pat Hayden, we're ready to go. The second half, Terry Sanders kicking off for the Tide. Alabama leading 28-0. They're going to bring this one out, and now throw it. Pleasant. A new wrinkle out across the 15. There is a penalty flag at the 7-yard line. You know what that's reminiscent of? Last year against Texas Tech, when Bobby Leach took it and went, what, 79 yards for a touchdown to pull the game out.
And keep them in the Cotton Bowl. Time of possession by Alabama. I'll tell you what, that really tells the story. They have dominated the line of scrimmage. Walter Lewis, of course, has had a fabulous first half. We saw some pictures of Mike Adcock, which was characteristic of the Alabama line, how they controlled the line of scrimmage. And, of course, the turnovers also have been a key.
I think one thing that we should point out, while Alabama's had a maligned defense, they've been good against the rush all year long. There is a study of frustration as far as SMU is concerned.
Really never had very good field position.
That was an illegal pass forward, I believe, is what they were ruling on that. Can't go forward, had to go backwards with it. As an end result, the penalty now moves it back inside the 5. That's not what SMU wanted to do to start the second half. Reggie Depard, John Hand was in there first to trip him up. He may have gotten a yard, and that's all. There's Hand. Sylacauga, Alabama. He was one of the most sought-after players his senior year that they had in the state of Alabama. SMU will now have second down, virtually 10 yards to go. Play action, and let's see, what are they going to rule on that?
It should be a safety. There's a flag down if it's intentional grounding in the end zone.
Because they had the safety on McElhaney, and he in desperation got rid of it. Emmanuel King was the man that had him in his grasp. John McClintock will determine the penalty.
The receiver was in the area. No illegal forward pass.
They're picking the flag up.
Complete.
It takes some courage. The official realized that there was a receiver. They did some consulting, but watch Lance McElhaney now. Emmanuel King put some immediate heat on him right there. Now, if they determine that he is throwing the ball away, it is an automatic safety, but the referee downfield said there was a receiver in the vicinity, so they picked the flag up.
Well, Lance argued his cause, and for one of the few times won it.
You don't see that happen too often, do you?
But it's still third down 10. Boy, SMU wanted to have some success to start the second half, but right now they're backed up.
They will be punting the ball if they don't pick up the first down into the wind.
Charles and Depard, the running backs. Gets across the 5 to the 6, and it's 4th down. That was John Hand again. John Hand, Ray Perkins said, hadn't really realized his potential yet, but he's played well today. Whit Smith will go back and punt this ball for the Mustangs. Greg Richardson back deep. Into the wind, as Pat just mentioned. Took his time, he got it out of there. Richardson at the 42. At the 35 is where Alabama will have it.
The key faces for Alabama the first half, all Walter Lewis. He was 9 of 12 for 148 yards and 1 touchdown. Ricky Moore, we saw him in the determination as he scored 2 touchdowns and rushed for 53 yards. Jesse Bendros, 2 big catches for 19 yards. And little Joey Jones, 2 catches, 36 yards, 1 touchdown.
Well, you highlighted almost the entire backfield and wide receivers. That shows you how effective they were. That kick was 36 yards. Here comes the man you mentioned, Ricky Moore. And Moore to the 18-yard line. Russell Carter, we haven't called his name very often today.
You're absolutely right. The All-American, consensus All-American at free safety. But Alabama comes right back where they left off. A little pitch to Ricky Moore. Remember, they started the game like this. Ricky Moore has scored 2 touchdowns on an exact play. Look at the strength and determinations. Again, he's 6 feet 0 inches, 235 pounds. It takes more than one man to bring him down.
16-yard pickup. He has 69 yards. Inside the 20, first down. Moore again, and Moore for 5 yards. Alabama came in here with 2 very difficult losses on miserable weather days. They're a team that Ray Perkins feels next year, if they can solve their quarterback spot, patch up their secondary, they're going to be right in the thick of things. They wanted to win today and usher out 83 and bring in 84 with a positive note. This could be a very, very big lift to Alabama and Ray Perkins. Second down 5. Good. Gary Good inside the 10. Larry Fox on the stop. There is a penalty flag. Larry Cox, a real plugger in there. He's battled hard for this SMU defense. It's been maligned. Holding against Alabama.
One of the few mistakes we've seen this Alabama offense make all afternoon.
Think about this Alabama team, Pat. They've started as many as 7 freshmen.
Ray Perkins is very high on this freshman class. Of course, he recruited a lot of these young men, but the men that he played, the Cornelius Bennis, the Kerry Goods, they're going to be around for a long time.
It's only the 2nd penalty on Alabama. SMU, on the other hand, who was at a record pace all year long in the penalty department, has 6. See the caliber of competition and how effective SMU has been, but today Alabama has handled them and then some. Lewis. Intended receiver was Greg Richardson. Good defense that time by Russell Carter.
Just to reinforce what you were saying, Alabama is beating a very good football team. A very good football team this year in SMU and a very good football team over the past 3 seasons. As the graphic showed just a moment ago, SMU is the winningest college football team over the past 3 seasons. Very, very strong team, but Alabama really has dominated.
3rd down 16. Good and Moore in the backfield. Look at the 3rd down conversions. Here's Good. Good to the 22-yard line. That was Dwayne Anderson making the stop. And the 2 safeties for SMU now starting to fly around and hit some people. That's one of their real strengths of those 2 guys, Anderson and Carter.
Well, Russell Carter, as you mentioned, we had not called his name much. He is the All-American. He's going to have to find a way to get more involved, come up with a big play, and give the ball back to his offense.
4th down, they're going to attempt the field goal. This will be a 39-yard attempt by Van Tiffen. He's hit 14 this year. Set a school record in scoring. And this one right. So SMU holds. That might give them some impetus. Van Tiffen, who is a freshman, been sensational for Alabama. Walter Lewis and his teammates lead it 28-0. Out of Red Bay, Alabama. A walk-on. And now from the 22-yard line, SMU will take over. McElhaney hits DePard. And Reggie DePard will move it across the 25 to the 26. Cornelius Bennett over there. When you look at Bennett and King, the outside linebackers, you're not going to run away from those two guys.
Tremendous team speed on the Alabama defense as we watch Reggie DePard, number 21, limp off the field.
Not only that, Pat, but impressively, they're both 6'4". You don't see a lot of linebackers in college that size.
Cornelius Bennett, he's a young man we're going to be hearing a lot of the next 3 years. A very impressive young man. Played beautifully against Auburn a couple of weeks ago, had 16 tackles.
Second down, 5 yards to go. Up the middle, here he goes, Atkins. To the 20. Yep, Atkins eventually dropped by Freddie Robinson. 62 yards.
Freshman Jeff Atkins, you're going to see a huge hole open up for him as you see some of his offensive linemen, number 79, Roy Dunn, coming right through there. But a big hole for Atkins. Now, they've been waiting for a big play and one of their running backs all afternoon. They finally get one here, brings the ball down to inside the 20-yard line. And SMU is going to have to put 7 points on the board. Freshman Jeff Atkins.
That's his career longest, 62 yards. 56 was his best previous to that carry. On a first down, McElhaney. Touchdown. Pleasant. Marquise Pleasant. The two flying freshmen, Ron Morris, this time Marquise Pleasant. That only took 20 seconds on that drive to go 78 yards.
They want the ball back.
Jeff Harrell point after. He gets it high and he gets it down the middle. And SMU now is on the scoreboard.
Lance McElhaney has led his team for 4 years as a quarterback for SMU. He hates to lose. He is quite a competitor. He's going to find a way to try to beat you here. He drills the ball to a freshman receiver, Marquise Pleasant. Actually, Pleasant made a beautiful catch in the ball right in front of the official. Take an isolated look. This is a very mature freshman. He's really come on. He's had 5 touchdown catches this season, but you see him really with terrific concentration. Bobby Collins calls him a pure receiver.
And so SMU has something to get excited about. They trail 28-7.
From the weight room this year.
After the California game practicing.
The Cal game, yeah.
Did they come into a game this year wearing football helmets?
They did. The Cal game, they did.
Well, SMU wasted little time, 20 seconds, the 62-yard run, and then McElhaney's pass to Pleasant from 15 yards out. This ball is going straight up in the air. You got a call for the fair catch. Doing that was Andrew Gilder, a fullback. And so the line of scrimmage will be the 25-yard line. Next Friday, December 30th, mark this down, the Peach Bowl. North Carolina, Florida State, 1:30 Eastern. Excuse me, that's 3 o'clock Eastern. They're going to mark the ball actually at the 22-yard line after that fair catch. Lewis. And Lewis out to the 28-yard line. SMU would like to get the ball back, use some of that momentum they just generated. Anthony Beverly on the tackle along with Mitch Willis. Lewis, not only an all-SEC pick, but Pat, an academic all-SEC pick. Outstanding student out of Brewton, Alabama.
believe for the second year in a row we made that academic team.
2nd and 4. Ricky Moore very close to the first down. Mitch Willis, the senior out of Arlington, Texas, made the tackle.
We mentioned that Ray Perkins wanted to throw the ball a lot today, and that really says something about the Southwest Conference. He felt the Southwest Conference really is a running conference. They have not seen too many good passers, and that's one of the reasons I think that Walter Lewis has been effective here today.
That was a first down. Moore has 78 yards for the day and 2 touchdowns. 10:24 left in the third. Here's Lewis again. Boy, you just got to surround him out there. Goes across the 35 to the 37-yard line.
He's come out this second half, Walter Lewis has, and run more option plays. We didn't really see him run the option in the first half. We saw him scramble quite effectively. But here in the second half, we've seen him run 2 or 3 option plays already.
It'll be 2nd down, 6 for the Tide. Bendros and Jones are split out. Lewis, a lot of white shirts on top of him. Doug Holly, who's their best pass rusher, was there first. Number 60, their 2nd sack of the day. Well, that's interesting. Third quarter has just been theirs, hasn't it?
SMU has dominated. You see that. Gotten on the board here. They're going to need to have a defense come up with a big play. We saw Doug Holly come up with one right there, a big sack, putting Walter Lewis in a 3rd and very long situation.
8 sacks now for Holly, a team-leading mark. 3rd down, 13. Again, the pressure. And Lewis will be dropped further up the field as they'll mark his progress at the 28-yard line, and SMU's held.
For the 2nd time in a row, SMU's defense has done their job, giving Lance McElhaney's offense a chance.
You see Willis, he was the guy chasing him back there, all 6'7" of him, along with Clarence McDade. And this bench starting to come alive now for the Mustangs. Malcolm Simmons will kick. Only his 2nd punt of the day. He hit it with a wind. Reggie Depard. And Depard does a resourceful job bringing it out to the 39-yard line. David Gilmer made the stop. A 39-yard kick, a 7-yard return. Well, Pat, I know you're looking forward to returning to Dallas and the Cotton Bowl. The Georgia Junkyard Dogs, that defense that they love to play. And Texas, oh, we've enjoyed following them this year. Unbeaten Southwest Conference champions.
They play pretty good defense themselves.
There's your time, 1:30 Eastern. Depard will go out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Emmanuel King on the tackle.
Momentum is so important in college football. We saw the first half where Alabama had all the momentum, made things happen. Here in the second half, Alabama's offense really has sputtered, and SMU's defense has stepped up and given their offense a chance. SMU put 1 ball in the end zone. They're back here with their 2nd possession, trying to get in the end zone 1 more time. But the momentum has swung here in the second half.
Remember earlier this year, the Penn State-Alabama game? Penn State led 34-7. Remember, they finished to that one. It can happen. McElhaney, oh, he threw that one into a crowd. There were 3 Crimson Tide players in that vicinity. A little upset at himself, and probably justifiably so.
Or his receiver for perhaps running the wrong route, but you can see that gives a little indication of Lance McElhaney. He is an incredible competitor. Here's a look of Marquise Pleasant right there. The ball is threw it right into the crowd. You see 3 Alabama defenders there. No way that he's going to catch that ball.
Kreitz and Depard line up behind this man on a 3rd down, 6. And that will be a 1st down catch by Ron Morris. So SMU is clawing back into this game, an 8-yard completion.
Another play to keep a drive alive. Ron Morris, he is the inside receiver right there in the slot. He needs 6 yards. Another freshman receiver. Again, you're impressed because these freshman receivers know exactly how many yards they need to go to get the first down. He makes a nice catch, keeps the drive alive. Ron Morris, the flanker from Cooper, Texas.
They say he's going to be a dominating player before his career is over. At the 49, an inside handoff to Depard, and Depard picks up at least 5 yards. Emmanuel King out of Leroy, Alabama, the junior all-conference performer, making a stop. They're putting it together, aren't they, Pat? You can see the pieces starting to come together.
And they've given you a little bit of everything. They've thrown the ball, they've run an option play or two, and they've come off tackle with a power play. They are mixing it up as we saw Alabama mix it up in the first half. Bobby Collins, what a nice man he is. Again, I'm very impressed with his staff. Whitey Jordan, his offensive coordinator, really had a very interesting game plan coming into the game. They have not put as many points as they would have liked to, but they've got things going right now.
2nd and 4. This time, the fullback Charles carries. Randy Edwards was there. Edwards, a remarkable story. When he was a freshman, he had a very, very serious kidney disease. His weight dropped all the way down to about 208 pounds. He weighs 255. He battled back, and one of the co-captains making the stop that time on Charles. It'll be 3rd and 2. There he is. Who's that?
It's not Santa.
On a 3rd and 2, Morris, first down. You might have expected him to run there, but they go instead for the high percentage pass, an 8-yard completion. Stan Gay made the tackle.
3rd and 2 is too much cushion there on the corner. On 3rd and 2 situation, the corners are going to have to play a little bit tougher. Watch the cushion again. Here's Stan Gay, number 28. 3rd and 2. He's playing off from 7 or 8 yards. By the time he reacts, the ball is caught for the first down. Good call by Whitey Jordan, the offensive coordinator.
See those gloves on Morris's hands? Good handwork that time.
I think Lance would like a few gloves.
McElhaney, far side of the field. That's going to be Ron Morris again, and Sammy Hood quickly up from his cornerback spot to make the tackle.
Again, the cushion by the Alabama defensive backs. They play very conservatively. Watch Ron Morris. Now, you have to respect him because he does have 10-3 100-meter speed, but you don't see a defensive back in the picture. He is wide open. He catches the ball. Finally, Sammy Hood, number 43, comes up, but not until he had gained 8 yards.
Talking about his speed, he was a Class 2A 100-meter champion in the state of Texas. McElhaney pitches back to Depard, and he's going to be, looks like, just short of the first down. Let's wait and see. Randy Edwards over there. Boy, when Lance pitches the ball, he never looks back, does he?
You're absolutely right. This is better than anybody in college football. But here's what happened there. They threw a couple of quick passes to the SMU receivers, so Alabama adjusted that time. They did rotate their corners up, but that's exactly what SMU wanted them to do because they felt that created a natural lane for the option play, and SMU came right back with the option play, and there you see the measurement for the first down.
With 5:13 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Sun Bowl, the 50th annual Sun Bowl. Alabama dominated the first half. They led 28-0 at intermission. But now, after scoring once, SMU has a first down at the 22. McElhaney showing some leadership. Depard, he fumbled it and got it back. Boy, what a fortunate recovery that time by Reggie Depard.
Early Christmas present.
Kurt Jarvis hit him and dropped him. So instead of a turnover, they pick up 5 yards on the play. 2nd and 5.
SMU is going to try to beat you running the football. They can do it a couple of different ways. We've seen them run option plays, and here's just power football, but the ball pops out of Reggie Depard's hands, but he does have the presence to gather it in and keep control.
At the 19, 2nd and 5. Morris comes in motion. Give to Depard, he fumbled it. Alabama has it. The 4th turnover for Bobby Collins. And so the SMU comeback has stalled.
Hard for the second play in a row, had a tough time hanging onto the football. SMU was on the march for their second touchdown of the game. The ball pops out as John Hand, a big tackle, number 78 from Alabama, makes him cough up the football. Alabama has the ball. There's their turnovers per game, bro.
Going to get frostbite here from that careful. 4 turnovers. Ricky Moore stays on his feet. That's that example, again, Pat, of one guy just can't seem to tackle him.
He is so thick, it's just hard to get your arms around him.
It was Kit Case that felt the shock of that run by Ricky Moore. Kit Case out of the Dallas area, their number 2 tackler. And there's the frustration of 4 turnovers on the face of the offense. Second down, 6. Difficulty for a first down. Mitch Willis made the tackle. You know, he gained over 600 yards this year in running.
Well, here you're going to see a good reason why. The quick feet of Walter Lewis. Fred Astaire couldn't do this any better. You see him dodge a couple of guys there. You see the presence. You see the vision. He's always looking downfield. Quick feet are very, very important for a quarterback. Oftentimes, buy him a chance for a second play.
Well, you're the Fred Astaire of the West Coast area, too, right? Your footwork out there?
Absolutely.
Walter Lewis out to the 40-yard line. Larry Cox on the stop. And at the 40-yard line, as they try to stay warm. What if they bring that up here? I wouldn't mind having that one, would you? It'll be second down now, and a long 3, almost 4.
Thank goodness your large body is generating a lot of heat up here.
Thanks a lot. Vindros and Jones split out. Here he comes, Ricky Moore. First down. Cox again on the stop. First downs, Alabama now with 21, SMU with 9.
Anthony Beverly, number 31, he's SMU's leading tackler. This time, he misses a tackle on Ricky Moore. Right there. A lot of people have missed Ricky Moore over the course of the season.
Ray Perkins said the game means so much to Ricky Moore. First down. Here is good. Very good into the SMU end of the field. That was Kit Case again making the stop. Alabama, their defense. That's Thomas, number 34, their freshman. He's a true freshman. He just came right out of high school and is now their starting strong safety.
Had a big interception against Mississippi State this year for a touchdown.
40-yard return. Second down, 6. Moore again. That's Michael Carter on top of him.
Big down here for the SMU defense. It's third and about 3 yards. They have to force Alabama to punt.
Third down and 5.
The determination of the SMU's defense is quite evident in Larry Cox's eyes.
Larry Cox, a transfer from Oklahoma. Line of scrimmage, the 46-yard line. This SMU defense has not had this kind of difficulty all season long. A draw to Moore. SMU is able to hold. It'll bring up fourth down. Kit Case, who's playing a whale of a game here in this second half, made the tackle. And Depard will go back to receive the punt from Malcolm Simmons. 40 seconds left in the third quarter.
When the fourth quarter starts, we must remember that SMU will have the wind at its back.
Here is Simmons, an academic all-SEC pick. Oh, he hit it well. It'll make it in for the touchback. A 46-yard kick by Simmons. Alabama leads it 28-7. Starting now to increase over the field, and it's 27 degrees with a wind chill index of a +6. We have 20 seconds left now in this third quarter. From the 20, SMU trailing 28-7. Pitch comes back to Atkins. Jeff Atkins comes out across the 25 to the 27. Scott McRae, who may be the toughest guy on that Alabama team. In fact, Ray Perkins said if you took a vote, they'd probably vote for McRae as the toughest.
He says he loves contact. I guess that's good if you're a linebacker.
So we have come to the end of the third quarter. Alabama 28, SMU 7, the 50th annual Sun Bowl. There's an exclusive presentation of CBS Sports. We'll be back with fourth quarter action after this message and a word from your local station.
Head and Shoulders, available in regular and conditioning formulas.
We start the fourth quarter. SMU trailing 28-7. Kreitz, the fullback, across the 30 to the 33. SMU doesn't have a lot of opportunities left in this game.
This is SMU's 9th possession. In college football, you get between 12 and 13 possessions in the course of a football game, so every play becomes very, very important when you're trailing 28-7.
They have the wind to their back in this fourth quarter. Pleasant and Morris split out. It'll be first down, the first down run on that last play by Kreitz. In the round reverse, Morris. Ricky Thomas was there. Ricky Thomas, the freshman, stayed home and held up his progress. With 14:19 to go in the game, the 50th annual Sun Bowl in El Paso. Alabama started fast in the first quarter. Ricky Moore from 1 yard out. He came back from 11 yards out, and it was 14-0 the tie. And Lewis has been sensational at 1 yard. And in a moment, we're going to show you a touchdown pass he threw to Joey Jones. McElhaney on target. First down, Ron Morris with the grab. And then in that second quarter, we mentioned Lewis scrambling, made it 21-0, and then Walter Lewis, a remarkable 19-yard touchdown toss to Jones.
He has directed an unbelievable attack by the Alabama offense, both running, scrambling, breaking tackles, as you saw right there, and firing touchdown passes, as you see right there, to Joey Jones.
That's the way it stood at half, 28-0, and then McElhaney hit Marquise Pleasant, a 15-yard touchdown pass. That's where we are right now. McElhaney in trouble. That's the second time he's been sacked. Emmanuel King, number 92. And SMU, the turnovers, costly turnovers, 4 of them. The last time it looked like they were putting it all together, and watch what happened.
You're right. They were really getting themselves right back in the ball game. They were trailing 28-7. They were down about the 15-yard line of Alabama. Reggie Depard could not find the handle as John Hand, the big tackle from Alabama, stripped Reggie Depard of the ball.
And there are the third quarter statistics. Look at the time of possession for Arkansas, I should say Alabama, for the whole game, almost 29 minutes. McElhaney. They'll get out of bounds at the 45-yard line. He's still got a long ways to go because that was 2nd and 17. There's Bennett. Looks like he might be having some cramps. He's going to be okay. Cornelius Bennett, the freshman from Birmingham. It'll be third down and still 13 yards to go. Depard will come into the lineup at the running back spot. Bolden coming out. Revis replaces him. Third down conversions, not too good.
3 of 9, and 3rd and 13 is really not the kind of situation that SMU is very good at. Basically, they're a running football team. They're not good on 3rd and very long.
McElhaney shoveled forward to depart, and that will not be enough for the first down. He gets to the 50-yard line. Mike Rodriguez, who was out all last week with a virus, the nose guard, made the tackle. 4th down. Whitsmith the kick. Richardson will go back. He was the 2nd fastest high school sprinter.
10-100 meters. That's incredible.
He just runs by it. SMU taking a lot of time. Whitsmith to Richardson. He'll be down to the 12, 28-7. Bama with the football, and right now with an impressive lead. 11:44 left in this golden anniversary of the Sun Bowl. Alabama with a 28-7 lead. Walter Lewis to his bread and butter man, Ricky Moore. And Moore powers out across the 15-yard line. Just seems to leave bodies strewn everywhere when he carries the ball. He has 97 yards for the day.
But here's one of the reasons he's had 97 yards. The blocks of Wes Neighbors, his center, and Mike Adcock, number 76, they're double teaming Michael Carter, and they dominated the nose guard. And that's, again, a big reason why Ricky Moore and Kerry Good have had very successful days running the football.
2nd down and 6 for the Tide. Maybe coming on the blitz. Let's see. They're backing off. Lewis coming straight ahead. Ricky Moore again. Moore will get to the 20-yard line. It'll be 3rd down. Now he's at 100 yards, which means that's his 6th straight 100-yard day.
It's an Alabama school record.
Johnny Musso was the guy he was tied with. By the way, Musso's the only guy, Pat, in the history of Alabama to rush for 1,000 yards. He did it twice.
That really surprises me. But I guess when Bear Bryant was coach, they had a lot of different backs playing in the course of the season.
Run the 20, 3rd down and 3. Ooh, they may be offside. A flag. Lewis. Marty Goen was chasing him and eventually thrown down. That's Doug Holly.
But for about the 4th or 5th time today, I believe Walter Lewis drew the SMU defensive front offsides for a cheap 5 yards and a 1st down. That's exactly what happened.
Boy, they had him all the way back, and it would have been 4th down. Now the penalty.
What an amazing weapon that man's voice has been today.
It was Marty Goen, the sophomore out of Tulsa, that stepped across the line, didn't get back in time. Boy. 3rd down and 3 instead of 4th down and what, 20?
That's exactly right. A perfect time to use the long counter, use voice inflection to try to draw the defense offside and pick up a 1st down.
Moore and Good in the backfield. Jones, Pendros split out. That's a 1st down from the 25. Doug Holly on the stop on Ricky Moore. Hey, the Southeastern Conference, Pat, had some outstanding runners. The Joneses from Tennessee and the Bo Jacksons of Auburn. This guy, Ricky Moore. And interestingly enough, they're going to be back. They're going to hunt the rest of the conference next season. That is the best effort against SMU this year, 103 yards. Again, showing you how tough the Mustangs have been defensively. Intended receiver was Good, couldn't hook up on that one.
Throwing into the wind dictates that kind of short control type of pass, and it's exactly what Ray Perkins wanted to do. His game plan has worked beautifully today. He wanted to throw short controlled passes, use Ricky Moore and Kerry Good. He has done all of those things.
So it's 3rd down and 6. Man coming off the field is Doug Holly, having some problems with his leg. Little draw. That fooled no one.
Third sack of the day on Walter Lewis.
Ben Wise, Tom Linebarger will be credited with that combined tackle, and so they do hold them. But they lost some time after that costly penalty.
Looks like SMU will get decent field position, though, but they really have to generate some offense now, get the ball in the end zone.
Now Simmons will kick into the wind at the 8:50 mark. There he is, Reggie Depard. They need a big play. Big rush. They almost got the ball. That ball is going to go out of bounds in the vicinity of the 30, a 42-yard punt. Alabama, what a day they're having. He's smiling because he knows what kind of football team he's going to have next year.
DJ Dozier, Doug Strang back.
Lance McElhaney on first down to Pleasant. There was a heck of an adjustment to the ball. That ball underthrown. Pleasant came back and caught it 46 yards on the play.
It's amazing, these freshman receivers, the big plays they've made over the course of this football season. Lance McElhaney gets the ball downfield. And many times when you see the ball underthrown like this, a defensive back does not know where the ball is. Well, the offensive receiver does. There's Sammy Hood, number 43. And the concentration of Marquise Pleasant, he's got his eye on the ball the whole way.
46 yards to the 21-yard line. Reggie Depard, and Depard close to the 10. Scott McRae, Paul Tripoli now in at a cornerback, made the stop. Well, Atkins is over 100 yards. Depard has had his moments, but they're running out of time. 8 minutes, 12 seconds left in this game. Both Bobby Leach and Morris go split to the top of the screen. Give it apart again. Tried to break it back. And Vincent Elder, one of the people we highlighted at the top of our broadcast, made the stop. Bobby Collins, 50 years old, had an outstanding career at Southern Mississippi for 7 years. Well, you look at this team from SMU. They're the first team in their conference's history to win 10 or more games 3 years in a row.
They deserve an awful lot of respect.
Charles Depard lined up behind McElhaney. 2nd and 8. McElhaney almost. Intended receiver was Ron Morris. Looked like he had some running room on that play.
Lance McElhaney was trying to make up his mind there, looked like, whether he was going to run or try to throw the ball to this man, number 23, Ron Morris. McElhaney does get to the corner. Ron Morris is looking for a little fade route over his shoulder. Now he's got to get open. He's got to come back to the quarterback right now as he is there. The ball was catchable.
3rd down, 7. They could get a first down at about the half-yard line. 7:13 left in the game. Little screen, and it's incomplete. That was a play that Bobby Collins told us they wanted to try to run, but McElhaney just didn't have enough on it.
It was a new play. You saw the disappointment in Bobby Collins, but you're right, Lance just didn't get enough. He was trying to put some touch on this, but he didn't get enough juice on the ball. The ball dies. Reggie Depard has no chance of catching the football. He had a couple of blockers out in front of him. He had the chance perhaps to get in the end zone. It is 4th down, and they are going for it.
4th down at the 8.5-yard line. Open. Tide will take over at the 7:02 mark.
The Alabama defensive secondary has been maligned over the course of the season, but they played beautifully today. Again, well-covered receivers of SMU. Nowhere for Lance McElhaney to throw the football. So with 7:02 left in the fourth quarter, we'll be back.
Lance McElhaney just disappearing behind that headgear. All-time winningest quarterback in the Southwest Conference. 34 wins, 4 losses, and a tie. Breaking the record of Bobby Lane. But today, it's been frustration. Ricky Moore is one of the reasons he has had a frustrating afternoon. T.D. Bricks made the stop on Ricky Moore.
But you mentioned Lance McElhaney. What a career he has had. He came on about the midpoint of his freshman season, as Walter Lewis did, really. Both of these quarterbacks have played for 4 years and had remarkable careers.
Second down and 5. A draw to Good. And Good, some nifty running. First down. Ron Anderson making the stop for SMU. Let's talk about Ray Perkins a little bit, Pat. He had a tough act to follow. I mean, the Bear, and I thought Ray said it so well yesterday. He said the Bear never made a statement that didn't make sense.
Well, he only lost 4 games this season. It has been a successful year. In the 4 games, the most he lost a game by was 7 points. And he played very, very well in a tough Southeastern Conference. He's got a very good freshman class coming back.
First down for Alabama. Ricky Moore.
The thing about Ray Perkins, too, you know, Gary, he told us yesterday that he really enjoyed this year more. I mean, of course, he enjoyed his year in the NFL, but he's enjoyed teaching these young kids, watching these young men develop and grow.
Well, he said, I get them at an early enough stage where I can have some impact on them. Ray, the outstanding player that he was for the Bear, he said this was the job that he always wanted to come back to, Tuscaloosa and Alabama. Lenny Patrick now has come into the backfield with Moore. Second down, 5. They were moving on to play the illegal procedure as a flag has been thrown. And Walter Lewis trying to get something out of nothing. Brings it out to the 31-yard line. Dwayne Anderson made the stop. Looked like Patrick wasn't set, but he changed his alignment before the ball was snapped.
Well, you know, we've seen Walter Lewis use so many of his different talents, his quick feet, his arm, his scrambling ability. Again, there he uses his head. He didn't throw the ball away and stop the clock. He's trying to control the clock, run the clock down. Instead, he scrambled around, used a few more seconds, even though there was a penalty on the play against Alabama.
I would say that Alabama, with this performance today, will leave this Sun Bowl with a good taste in their mouth. That was the exact quote of Ray Perkins. We want to leave here with a positive thought. And boy, they have come in here, and I think they've long forgotten those BC and Auburn losses today. Moore, by the way, has carried the ball 27 times. The record here is 31. That was by Charles Alexander of LSU. Second and 11. Now he's got a 28. He may get that one before it's all over. Let's flip it on the other side, Pat, about SMU. Bobby Collins said we want to gain some prestige, national attention. They have not been able to do like they'd want to, but again, his team returns the Depards and the Atkins and the 2 wide receivers.
And exactly right. Again, to the Southwest Conference, which they played so well in the last 3 years. As you mentioned, the past 3 years, they've won 10 games in the Southwest Conference.
Third down, 12.
Is he athletic? I want to tell you.
He ran 40 yards and just about got back to the line of scrimmage. No, I guess he gained 3 yards. Briggs and Linebarger made the stop, and that's a lot of effort. It'll be 4th down.
I guess when he played against Boston College, between he and Doug Flutie, they had some guys who could move around back there. Should say between him and Doug Flutie.
Well,
Grammar's been corrected a couple times this season by some fans.
Well, when you went to Oxford, they didn't deal with those issues, did they?
Not enough, obviously.
From the 24. They're going to have to kick. And there's Reggie DeBar. That ball's not going to turn over at all. It's straight up in the air. And so at the 48-yard line, a 28-yard kick. Boy, what a magnificent trophy, the Sun Bowl trophy. And Alabama's laying claim to it today. That's one of the few times that Ron Morris hasn't hung on to the football. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to some people. Rick Lasavita, our producer. Boy, what a force he's been. What enthusiasm and emotion he's put into our telecast this year. Our director, Bob Fishman. I can tell you what, the pictures he puts up are fun to describe. And our statistician, research man, Mike Swanson, the all-universe guy. And Steve Bear, our spotter, our team this year. There's Pleasant with the catch.
And thanks to you for a very good year, Gary Bender.
Well, Pat, it's been fun. It really has.
There's nothing like college.
You've got another one. You've got another big one coming up from Dallas, the Cotton Bowl, Texas, Georgia. There's your number 2 ranked Longhorns. Lindsey Nelson and Pat will be there. I think Lindsey's doing it for what, the 24th year?
Well, between us, we've done it 25 times.
3rd and 5. Got a new man in the lineup. Number 85 for SMU coming up with that grab, and that is Albert Reese, a tight end. That moves it inside the 45-yard line, but it's still going to be a 4th down.
There's nothing like college football, Gary, and for many of these seniors who will not go on and play in bowl games or play professionally, it's a very, very special time, this Sun Bowl. It means an awful lot to them. These are memories they'll have the rest of their lives.
Play action by McElhaney, sets up the screen to depart. Alabama's equal to that, and they've been equal to about everything today. Alabama takes over. They lead it 28-7. Game has selected their MVPs, and we'll get them to you in just a moment. Mickey Ginyard has come in at fullback. Joe Carter is the new running back for Alabama. Paul Fields is a quarterback, and here comes Carter. All right, the most valuable lineman of the game is Wes Neighbors, number 54, as selected by the press, a freshman. And the most valuable player of the game by the press, and also our Chevrolet most valuable player, no real surprise, Walter Lewis. What a job. The leadership. And the Chevrolet MVP for SMU will be Jeff Atkins, who had 120 yards rushing. There's Joe Carter again. And so a check in the amount of $1,000 will be donated by Chevrolet General Scholarship Fund for their disqualified students in all chosen fields. And Ray Perkins and Alabama will return to Tuscaloosa, and they're going to be a very happy group. Hard run.
Only a freshman. He'll be back for 3 more years for Bobby Collins, and Bobby Collins, believe me, will welcome him back.
3rd down 5, a minute 25 left in this one. Paul Fields, a senior, pitches at the last moment to Joe Carter. Anthony Beverly over to make the stop.
46. Again,
there's your time remaining. On a 4th down, Alabama will have to get rid of the football. Texas was the only team that had beaten SMU Prior to this one, they beat them 15-12. Remember that, the two-point play? They didn't get it, then eventually the safety. We mentioned earlier Alabama's 4 losses to bowl teams. Tennessee, Penn State, Boston College. Simmons will kick. Gotta let that one hit, and it'll make it in for the touchback. A 47-yard kick. 26 seconds left in this golden anniversary. Left the ball to 20-yard line. 28-7. Lance McElhaney remains in at quarterback. That's Pleasant. That kind of summarizes a frustrating afternoon for SMU. Pleasant slow getting up. We're going to take a break while they look over this outstanding freshman. 20 seconds left in the game. So with 20 seconds left, they're starting to celebrate. If you're an Alabama fan or player or coach or part of the official party that's here. McElhaney, that's intercepted. That's Paul Tripoli, the 5th turnover of the game against SMU. Paul Tripoli, a senior, his 2nd interception of the year. Boy, that's a fine way for him to end his career at Alabama. Let's look at some of the key players. Ricky Moore scored the first 2 touchdowns of the game.
A big bruising fullback. Take a look at him. He was running determined all day long. He cut back here. He got in the end zone. That was his 2nd touchdown of the day.
He goes over 100 yards for the game. He kind of set the whole trend of this game with his bullying, his way of just battering people backwards. Here's Joe Carter as we're inside 10 seconds. The other guy that they really gave the leadership to, and he responded so well, Walter Lewis. Ray Perkins being carried off the field. And so Alabama has won the 50th annual Sun Bowl 28-7.
But the man today was senior Walter Lewis from Bruton, Alabama. As you saw him do just about everything today. He ran into the end zone. He threw balls into the end zone. He scrambled, and he was a tremendous leader. Senior Walter Lewis.
It was a diversified offense. It was a defense that had been maligned that arose to the occasion and held SMU to 7 points. Ray Perkins has ended his maiden voyage, his first year as coach at Alabama, on a resounding, successful note. Alabama 28, SMU 7. The blue-gray game, the Nets and Knicks tomorrow. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports.
Pretty lopsided. Alabama winning by the score of 28-7. Ray Perkins' team got a couple of touchdown runs from Ricky Moore, another one from Walter Lewis, and Lewis also threw a 19-yard touchdown pass to Joey Jones. For that final, Alabama winning the Sun Bowl by the score of 20.
Thanks, Montgomery.
It remains blue and gray football, but for Alabama fans, their Christmas came a day early.
Certainly did, Don. A great game for Alabama today, and Crimson Tide fans all over have to be happy with that performance. It was all Alabama this afternoon in El Paso. The Crimson Tide rolled over 6th-ranked SMU, upsetting the Mustangs 28-7 and capturing the championship of the 50th annual Sun Bowl.
Right from the start, the Crimson Tide took it to the Mustangs. Second possession, here goes Kerry Good up the middle for a big gain of 33 to the SMU 13. Had a face mask penalty, and it's 1st and goal, Alabama. Then on 3rd down, Ricky Moore gets the touchdown with this hard, bruising run from the 1, 7-0 Bama midway through the 1st. The Tide defense then made a big break. SMU quarterback Lance McElhaney fumbles the snap. Sammy Hood pounces on it for Alabama at midfield. 5 turnovers on the day for the Mustangs. From there, Walter Lewis goes to work. He fires over the middle here to Greg Richardson to the Mustang 19. 2 plays later, Lewis pitches to Moore, and the big junior does the rest from 11 yards out. Over 100 yards rushing for Moore. That's the 6th straight game, an Alabama record, and it's 14-0 Tide after the 1st. It was more of the same in the 2nd. Bama goes 86 yards in 14 plays against the nation's 2nd-best defense. Lewis, off the beautiful fake, waltzes into the end zone to make it 21-0. Then, after another fumble recovery, Lewis, who was voted the Sun Bowl MVP, goes to the air from the SMU 19. After the scramble, he'll fire to a wide-open Joey Jones. And to the disbelief of many, Bama led it 28-0 at halftime. The Mustangs threaten to get back in it in the 3rd. Freshman Jeff Atkins breaks through the middle and rambles 62 yards here down to the Bama 15. That was over half the total of all the Mustang yards in the 1st half. Next play, McElhaney rolls right and finds Marquise Pleasant in the end zone. A nice 15-yard touchdown toss and catch. It's now 28-7, 11-19 left in the 3rd. SMU threatened several more times, but one drive was stopped late in the 3rd on this fumble by Reggie Dupard. Then in the 4th, the Mustangs were at the Tide 7, but on 4th down, McElhaney misfires long in the end zone. Definitely a day in the sun for Alabama and a Roll Tide Christmas as the Crimson Tide upsets SMU.
When the best postseason offer they could muster was the Sun Bowl opposite Alabama's